Do you ever feel all over the place when it comes to juggling all the things that come to play running a social media business? Then this video is for you. In life in general, as an entrepreneur, habits play a huge role, let alone for social media managers who juggle multiple different accounts, different tasks. It doesn't end. And that's why I created today's video. Hey, my name is Milou and I own a multi-six-figure social media agency, and I now help social media managers do the same. If you're new here and you haven't yet grabbed my free roadmap to becoming a six-figure social media manager, then make sure you do so, and I will link it right here. Now, the very first habit that changed my life as a social media manager is to treat myself as my own client. If you are at all familiar with any of my content, then you know I preach this message over and over again. I personally treat myself as our own biggest client to make sure, we set the example and showcase the clients what we can do, and in general to practice what you preach, right? Now, I know it's so common for social media managers to put themselves on the back burner and do their own social media presence very last. And of course, you don't technically get paid, right, to manage your own accounts, but it costs you a whole lot on all the leads and the new business you're missing out on just because you're not showing up consistently. You are not, showcasing clients what you're capable of. And so being your own biggest case studies is one of the best things you can do, especially early on in, building your social media business. So treating yourself as an actual client versus shoving it kind of, on the back seat is a habit that completely changed my life, and has now for me opened so many doors to where I attract clients and I don't have to chase clients, right? And outside of that, it has opened other opportunities just as a personal brand, where you can now do brand partnerships, all types of things that you now may want to sell to your audience in general. Now, if you're curious how I create my content calendar as a social media manager, then check out this video right here where I show you the step-by-step. Now, the second habit that completely changed my life as a social media manager is to regularly check your insights. Now, I don't just mean your insights, right, but your clients' insights. This needs to be a habit for you to regularly check in. I would recommend, if you're inside the accounts, to at least check once a week to kind of see what's going on, right? What content is forming, what isn't. But then of course, on a monthly basis, check in to see what every account did well, what didn't work, so that you have a good idea. Now, the reason why I'm so big on data, providing insights, is because this is the only way you can prove ROI to clients. At the end of the day, clients are going to want to see some type of results, and the best way to do this is through providing them analytics and insights and showcasing what has been happening inside the account. Of course, organic social media marketing takes time, so you do need to take that into consideration, but data is something that can't lie, right? This way you're not simply making things up, but you can literally see inside the account exactly what is happening so that you can relay this message to the client. Now, if you want to know exactly how I create an analytics report for clients, then check out this video right here. That should also give you a cheat sheet to make it easy for you to make those on a monthly basis. Now, the third habit that completely changed my life as a social media manager is to set boundaries. Now, I'm not even going to lie, this is probably one of the toughest ones, not just a social media manager, but entrepreneur in general, right? Especially when you're trying to build a business, trying to get clients, you need to set very clear boundaries. Now, scope creep is a huge thing in the social media industry, right? Marketing in general. And so this is a way that you can avoid that. Now, in order to set boundaries, you need very clear expectations. And in order to set expectations with a client, you need very clear communication. Now, this is something that a lot of social media managers miss in the beginning of their journey, and including myself, right? Because you need to be very clear in contracts, but also with the client, what you do and what you don't do. Now, along with that comes your working hours, communication guidelines, right? When is it okay for a client to come to you? What are your business hours? When do you respond? When do you not respond? Do you work on the weekend? Do you not? And even when you have these in place, and let's say a client does contact you outside of these hours that you have set, then make sure you also don't respond, right? Because this will change the dynamic. If you do happen to go there, then they're gonna gonna assume that you're gonna respond on the weekend. So setting boundaries is just a healthy practice and a healthy habit that you need in your business, because if this doesn't happen and you don't set these, you're going to end up a victim of scope creep, which will eventually lead to burnout, and that's the last thing that I want for you to happen. Now, if you want to know what a realistic day in my life is like as a social media manager, then check out my day in the life as a social media manager video that I recorded right here. Now, the fourth habit that completely changed my life as a social media manager is to time block. Now, social media managers are responsible for so many different tasks, right? From content creation, engaging, posting, managing the account, right? There are so many things you're responsible for. And so time management is a huge skill that you need to have. Now, time blocking will help you focus, right, to getting things done. So as an example for myself, I time block out exactly when is my content creation week, when do I post for clients or the team posts for clients, when do I spend time on strategy. I need to block out time. So what I do is when I block out this time, I will even disconnect my Slack. I will make sure I close all tabs and I'm purely focused on this one task so that it gets done, right? And you know, naturally social media is extremely distracting. We all know when we're scrolling, doing research, it's so easy to get distracted. And so this makes time blocking even more important, and I promise will change your life when you get this down. Now, the fifth and final habit that completely changed my life as a social media manager is to rest. Now, you probably not often hear these words coming out of my mouth, but I used to be someone that worked 7 days a week building my business. And of course, sometimes this may be necessary, but in the long run, this is not sustainable. And as a creative entrepreneur, rest is actually productive, because what would happen is that I would work so much that I would be on borderline burnout, which led to me delivering lower quality work. I started to make easy, simple mistakes, right? Everything just got worse overall. And so setting apart time that you rest, and even more importantly, not just rest, but take time away from social media, right? Because we spent so much time on the accounts, we all know social media isn't great for mental health, so you really need to set time away for yourself. Another way you can do this is having a work phone that separates a client account from your actual personal phone, since many social media managers have multiple phones, right, for logins. But you really need that time away from social media to reboot, recharge, so that you can deliver great work for your clients. One of the things that I always say is that you're doing yourself and your clients a disservice by not taking a break, not resting, because now you're not able to deliver your best work. Now, if you found this video helpful, then I hope you're going to implement these habits. Maybe you have other habits that could help me or other social media managers. Make sure you drop these in the comments below. And again, if you find these videos helpful, you could really help me out by hitting the subscribe button so that I can create more free content just for you guys.